Plot Against Russia, How Putin Revived Stalinist Anti-Americanism to Justify a Botched War is an article published by the Council on Foreign Relations Foreign Affairs website, and it says at the very end of the article that when Putin and members of his team talk about a new multipolar world, they are simply trying to reassert Moscow's lost superpower status and portray themselves as a guiding light for the former Soviet republics in the countries of Africa, Asia, and Latin America. But behind the scenes of the Ezekiel 38 Confederacy, which is now formulating, are the Kenites on the multipolar end of the globalist spectrum, as opposed to the Kenites on the unipolar end of the globalist spectrum, who for the most part control the left-right paradigm, which is symbolized by Ammon and Moab, which is really Stalinism and Trotskyism, with the Stalinists having infiltrated the Democratic Party in 1933, while the Trotskyites infiltrated the GOP in 1980. Russia is the current king of the North, according to the Daniel 11 hypothesis on biblicalresearchlabs.com, and the United States is the current king of the South. But agents of Edom, which means red, meaning agents of the multipolarist Kenites, also managed to infiltrate the left-right paradigm, and as you can see in verse 15 of Daniel chapter 11, so the king of the north shall come, the Russian Federation, and cast up a mound and take up the most fenced cities in the arms of the south. The current king of the south, being the United States, shall not withstand, neither his chosen people, neither shall there be any strength to withstand, meaning the global political system that will emerge at the woe of the fifth trumpet can't be stopped, no matter which chosen people, meaning elected officials, are voted into power, as you can see in the Daniel 11 hypothesis. As nation continues to rise against nation, meaning the Kenite nation rising up against itself through two warring factions within the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8, which is symbolic of the shadow government of the sons of Cain. The great horn of the he-goat being the United Nations, in my opinion, which is the same thing as the one who sends a raiser of taxes in Daniel 11:20, with the raiser of taxes itself being the Paris Climate Accord that went into effect in late 2016. And as we know from Daniel 11:14, the Kenites, who are called there the robbers of thy people, shall exalt themselves to establish the vision, meaning the vision of a one-world system, but they shall fall, which in the Hebrew is a word that means in this case to fail, because there will be no new world order, as it's called, until the woe of the fifth trumpet, when Satan and his angels get cast to earth. And it's at that time that the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8 will become the leopard of Daniel chapter 7, which is also in the Ezekiel 38 Confederacy, becomes the bear of Daniel chapter 7, with the lion being the Christian nations up until the woe of the sixth trumpet, when Satan appears in Jerusalem as the Antichrist, because that's when most Christians will begin to worship Satan instead of Christ, which is what Antichrist means.